This video is going to teach you exactly which pinky keys to use when. So there are some differing opinions about which pinky keys to use when. A lot of people will say that you should have sort of a pinky key like configuration for what scale you're playing. So like a C major scale is left pinky Bs and right pinky Cs, while an E major scale would be like right pinky Bs, left pinky C sharp, and then right pinky D sharp. And that sort of gives you a default position for whatever scale you're playing and whatever key you're playing in. And I think that's really good advice, but I think there's sometimes that rule doesn't totally apply, or sometimes where you have to change things around depending on accidentals in the piece. If you're playing a chromatic piece or an atonal piece, then it doesn't totally apply. So I want to give you a little bit of a different pinky rule that I think is pretty effective and will be helpful for figuring out where and when you should be playing which pinky keys, so that you're always in the right configuration and you never find yourself getting stuck where you're playing with your right pinky and then you're like, oh no, I have to play an E or E flat or a D sharp after that, and I don't know how I'm going to get my pinky from there to there without playing anything in between. And of course, this doesn't totally apply if you have a left pinky D sharp E flat like I do, and a lot of the professional clarinets these days are coming out with these left pinky keys, which really simplifies a lot of things. But for a lot of student clarinets and a lot of even professional clarinets still won't have this key, so this will help you to sort of navigate those pinky issues. So this rule centers around the B or E key, because that's the one that's really the easiest to play on either pinky and probably the most common one that you will be playing and the one that you'll have to make the decision on the most. So the rule is really simple actually. It's if you're going to or from another pinky key, then you'll use the left pinky EB key. And conversely, if you're going to or from a not pinky key, then you'll use the right one. So let's look at some actual examples of how that'll work out. So let's start off with like a C major scale. You're gonna play A, B, C. In this case, you're coming from a not pinky key, so you would think the right would be the right option. However, after that, you're going to a pinky key. So what we're actually gonna do is the left. So you can see how it sort of, if you're going from or going to either one of those, not both of them, it doesn't have to be both of them, but if it's either of those, then you're gonna wanna go with the left pinky EB key. Now if we're playing like an E major arpeggio, E, G sharp, B, E, in this case you're coming from a not pinky key and you're going to a not pinky key, so you can use the right pinky in this instance. Now let's say you're playing down a D major scale, you play D, C sharp, B. In this case, you're going from a pinky key to the B key, so you're going to use the left pinky for this. And that will of course make you have to use the right pinky for the C sharp so that you're in the right position there. Now the one sort of caveat to this rule is when that E flat D sharp key gets involved if you don't have the left one. Now if you're playing just two notes and you have like B to D sharp, then it works totally fine because we're going to a pinky key, so we'll use the rule of sticking with the left pinky. However, if we have three pinky keys in a row, that's where it gets a little bit more complicated, where if we're starting on B with the three pinky keys that we're going to be pressing, or the three pinky key notes, then you have to do a right pinky B. So this is like B, C sharp, D sharp, or B, C, D sharp. That has to be starting on the right pinky so that the other pinky does the left, and then you have your right D sharp free. If you're starting on D sharp or any of the other pinky keys and ending with a B, then you'll end up with a left pinky B. Also, if the B is in the middle of the three, then you'll also be on a left pinky B. Pretty much whenever the D sharp is involved, you have to use a left pinky before it, no matter what, if you don't have the left pinky D sharp E flat key. So I hope that helps. Just to sum it up really succinctly, basically a majority of the time, you'll use the left pinky B, unless you're going from no pinkies to a pinky key to a no pinky key. Then you can use the right pinky is actually better when you don't have any pinky keys around it. And then whenever the D sharp E flat or G sharp A flat in the lower register is involved, just make sure whatever pinky key happens before that is a left pinky so that you're in position to play that. I hope that helps to clarify some of that pinky action of which ones should be happening when. And I thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in another video.